right, welcome back, guys and ladies. Today what we are doing is we are going to figure out how to actually create block letters. Now, there is a difference between a block letter and a bubble letter. And the difference is basically this. A bubble letter will have curved edges, okay, or round parts in the design of the letter, whereas a block letter will have nothing but straight lines, and the person will only use straight lines to create the shape of the letter. So that's the basic difference between the two. And for the type of drawing that we're going to do, we need to know how to create the block letters because we need those corners for our perspective drawings. So to start us off, I thought I would just get some shapes here and see about how to construct a letter basically. So let me see, I'm just leave it that way. And I've just got some straight pieces, and I've got some cubes here, and then I've got some angled pieces that I'll need here in a minute. But for example, let's say I've got this letter B that we were looking at just a second ago. If I wanted to build a letter B, what would I need to create that? Well, if we look at a B, okay, the B kind of looks like that. Well, obviously for block letters, I can't use a curved line, so this is a no. If I had to do this with just straight lines, I've got this straight line here, so there's that. And then, if I covered up these two parts, it almost looks kind of like an E. So if I went like this, that would be these parts right there. But then, I can't use a curve here to create the bumps. So I could use a straight line. But right now, that kind of looks like an 8 to me. It looks like the number 8. And I don't want it to look like a number 8. So if I went like this, and then I clipped off those corners, and then I could use a straight line to connect it. And that's kind of the process of making those block letters, the transformation from one to another. So what does that really look like? That is a good question. I've got some pieces here. I think you can see those. I better get a background just in case. Okay. So I'm going to build a letter that is I'm going to build a letter B that is 7 blocks tall, okay, and 5 blocks wide. So there's my 7 blocks. Some of you are going to recognize these blue blocks. And I'm going to go 5 across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let me do this down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I need to do that in the middle. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I've got to fill these in the middle right here with a 2. And this is going to give us that number 8 that we've been talking about. So here is that. There we go. So using those block sticks, I have made a number 8 basically that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks tall and 5 blocks wide. But I've never seen the number 8 in the alphabet, so I have to do something to change this, okay? And the way I can round these corners off to make it look more like a B is to remove this corner piece and make that a diagonal space. So I've got some little triangle pieces look like this that I can insert right there. And then I need to replace this corner piece with a diagonal like that. Okay. And then I need to, and that's looking better. That diagonal is kind of weird up here, so I think that one's kind of funny. Let's watch that out. All right, there we go. So that looks better than it did, but I think you can see where that B shape is going to come into play here. So the only other thing I need to do is I need to take this block out, and I need to do like a little, almost like a little Pac-Man inside there, but I honestly don't have a block that's cut like that. So we're just gonna, envision what that would look like, okay? So, well, now that we kind of know the shape of the lines that we use to create a block letter, let's put that into like real life practice here. So I'm going to slide this out of the way, and I'm going to grab my piece of graph paper here. And my graph paper, if I'm trying to transfer this over to here, and I'm just using a B because it's got nice, these little weird diagonals. So I want it to be 7 tall, so I'm going to go put a dot in the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I want it 5 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is my 5 by 7 block, okay, that I'm going to use to create the letter B. So this is 1 cube, so I would use 1 cube for each block. So I know I've got 7 down the side, and there's 7 here, so I could sketch that in. Okay. I know I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 going across, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4 across. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 across here, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 across there, and I've got 1, 2 blocks between them. So I'm going to go 1, 2 blocks between them and create the letter E first. Kind of weird, I know. Then I've got this diagonal corner piece, so I'm going to create a diagonal. And then I've got those 2. Then I'm going to come down here and do this diagonal piece. And then I've got those 2, so I can sketch all those in. You could leave it like that. I can still see the B, but we really need that little Pac-Man shape inside there. So with the diagonal line, I'm just going to draw like that, so I can finish off the B. Okay, so there is a B in block letters. Each side of this letter is now created with straight lines that I could, if I needed to, recreate or draw with a ruler, and it would be exactly straight all the way around. And this is a 5 by 7. Okay, so that is basically how to create block letters. And you could do that for any part of the alphabet. You could do it for the letters of your name. You could do it for your initials, which is what the next video is going to be about. It's going to be about our initials. So I will see you in that next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.